Good morning, and first let me say happy early 4th of July to everyone. I know we are all gearing up to celebrate the 4th of July holiday, and Baltimore is extremely excited to view all the red, white, and blue. And besides the grilled hot dogs, corn on the cob, and burgers, y'all have seen me grill, well, y'all should have seen me grill at BCCC on Monday. I'm calling myself the on chef. Yeah. I know fireworks and sparklers are some of the main attractions for the 4th of July holiday. Although they are the main attractions, fireworks and sparklers are illegal in the city of Baltimore. They are also extremely dangerous. Today we are joined by Baltimore City Fire Department, the Police Department, and Health Department to talk about safety while celebrating the holiday. First, we will have Council President Brandon Scott share remarks.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to first off by saying I hope that everyone in Baltimore has a great 4th of July holiday, and we want you to do that in a safe manner. And most importantly, anyone in Baltimore that has crabs, they must send me an email and invite me over to their house. I'm the official crab picker for the city of Baltimore. But we all know how important this holiday is. We all know that this is a great holiday for Baltimore. We know that the fireworks in Baltimore is a big historic thing. I remember as a kid, we always came downtown to watch fireworks, or figured out somewhere in northwest Baltimore where you could sit and watch them from up on the hill. But what we want everyone to do is be safe. We want people to celebrate, have a great time, but you have to be safe in celebrating. And we look forward to hearing from our health department, our police department, and our fire department about how people can be safe when celebrating this great holiday. Thank you.
Thank you. Council President, you're supposed to introduce Chief Niles Ford.
Sorry. James didn't tell me that. And now I introduce to everyone Chief Niles Ford, the Chief of the Baltimore City Fire Department. There you
go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good morning, everyone. Each and every year, firework displays are highlighted in the 4th of July holidays. And one of the most enjoyable events are those fireworks. As a public service agency, we want everybody to enjoy them, but we want to ensure everyone's safe. We want to ensure that people have a safe holiday with their family. It should be noted that fireworks and sparklers are illegal in the city of Baltimore. I'll say it again. It should be noted, Commissioner, that fireworks are illegal and sparklers are illegal in the city of Baltimore. We want to ensure that all the citizens are safe, and at all times we want to ensure that they have a great time, of course, but according to the International Association of Firefighters, that people are injured by fireworks at a rate of about 10,000 people every year. Now these numbers are very alarming, and it should also be noted that people think sparklers aren't that dangerous and they aren't bad things, but sparklers go up to 2,000 degrees. Even after the sparkler has gone out, they're still hot. In fact, when I was promoted to be a fire inspector, fire investigator, the first house fire I investigated was a young kid who set a sparkler on fire. It went out, and he threw it in the trash can next to the house, and he set the house on fire. These sparklers, people admire them, but they cause great injuries. Therefore, we encourage all residents, all visitors, to go see the public fireworks shows that are put on by professionals. There will be great fireworks put on the 4th of July. I'm going to be there, Commissioner will be there, the Mayor will be there, the Council President will be there to celebrate with everybody. These are great times we want people to have with families, but they have to do it safely, and also they have to do it illegally. So now I will pass on to Commissioner Harrison.
Thank you, Mayor, for your leadership, and to our Council President, to our fire chief and our director of our health department. The Baltimore Police Department is always working hard, and we have been working hard to ensure that Baltimore is ready for our 4th of July celebration. We want to make sure everyone has a safe and fun holiday. We're very thankful for the assistance provided by our law enforcement partners, along with our other city agencies that are joining us today. This type of multi-agency deployment exemplifies the strong partnerships between our agencies here in Baltimore, which make Baltimore a great place to celebrate the 4th of July. So if you're planning to be downtown tomorrow, we want you to have a plan. Number one, plan your route to and from your destination. And to the extent that you can, plan where you will park. Expect large crowds and temporary street closures around the Inner Harbor and around the Fells Point area. We also recommend that you park your car in a well-lit area and always remove all valuables from sight and lock them up where they're not visible inside of the vehicle. Open containers are prohibited on public streets within the Inner Harbor. The same rules apply in Fells Point. We will have uniformed police officers deployed across the entire city to help with traffic control and to ensure everyone has a safe and memorable experience while they're in Baltimore. But we will also be utilizing technology, including our extensive network of City Watch cameras to keep everyone safe. Our plan is also in place to restrict commercial vehicles from traveling within the downtown area during the 4th of July. This is very important. Celebratory gunfire anywhere is dangerous and is always against the law. Bullets come down at the same velocity as they go up, which means they can cause serious injury and/or death. So absolutely no shooting guns in the air for the 4th of July and/or any time. Our officers will be out patrolling and taking strict enforcement actions against anyone caught shooting guns into the air. Finally, we want to remind everyone to report suspicious activity to 911 or flag down one of our many police officers who will be deployed across the city and in downtown Baltimore tomorrow. And remember, if you see something, say something. This time I'll turn it over to our health department.
Thank you, Mayor Young, Council President Scott, and public safety officials, Commissioner Harrison and Chief Ford. I want to echo all of your messages stressing the importance of safety. Though Independence Day is a time of celebration with friends and family, it's also a time to keep safety in mind. Fireworks-related injuries are most common on July 4th and New Year's Eve. Fireworks, as previously mentioned, cause death and injury, including burns, contusions, laceration, and foreign objects in the eye. According to the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission annual report, fireworks were involved in an estimated 9,100 injuries treated in the emergency departments in 2018. Children may be especially vulnerable to the harm associated with fireworks, and they should be supervised during all 4th of July festivities. Never allow young children to play with or ignite fireworks. Make sure you, your kids, and others watch fireworks from a safe distance. Call 911 immediately if someone is injured from fireworks. If you'll be indulging in alcoholic beverages, please be responsible. Remember, don't drink and drive, and don't drink and swim. Consumption of alcohol not only puts you and others at risk while driving, but you're also at a heightened risk of drowning if intoxicated while swimming. Please be careful this 4th of July and have a safe and happy holiday.
Fireworks can be viewed from the Inner Harbor, Fells Point, Federal Hill, Harbor East, and beyond. And also at Middle Branch. They have their own fireworks at Middle Branch. There will be a live music performance and fireworks display in Baltimore's Inner Harbor Amphitheater from 7 to 9:30 p.m. I will be there, so please come out and join me as we count down to the fireworks display and enjoy some great performances. And the Top of the World observation level will host picnic at the top from 7:30 to 10 p.m. For more information, please visit viewbaltimore.org. Again, we encourage everyone to keep their celebration safe and legal. Any questions on the holiday safety?
I have a question of the Chief. Commissioner,
Yes, ma'am.
you've been using ShotSpotter. Does that know the difference between a gunshot and a firecracker?
It largely does, and so the technology has improved from its inception, and there are people who sit there and really listen to it in addition to the computer and the technology analyzing it, and so it's both technology and human, and it does try to eliminate things that we believe are not gunshots.
Has it been tested at all in the city in that regard?
I think over time it has been tested. It's been tested not just in this city, but excuse me, the technology itself from its developers have tested it to make sure it knows the difference between car backfires, other noises, and gunfire and fireworks. Yes.
What orders are you giving the 4th of July weekend for people who are going to, who might be using fireworks?
Repeat that question, please.
What orders are you giving officers who might find citizens who are using fireworks?
So we want our officers to be very vigilant. We want to keep people safe. We want to enforce the law, but we want to be smart about the enforcement. And we want to make sure officers are available to keep people safe from violent crimes and from other more serious incidents. So there's an appropriate enforcement action that we will be telling the officers to take when we see that. But we really want people to have a good time and to have fun. And so we won't over-enforce it, but we will make sure that we are enforcing it.
How many officers are going to be stationed at the harbor? Is there a more concentrated force this year?
Yeah, there will be 200 plus officers from the Baltimore Police Department added to the downtown harbor area, none of which were pulled from districts. So there is a very heavy and robust staffing across all 9 districts throughout the entire city. That's all of those officers come from ancillary parts of the department and detective units. And so no officers were pulled from districts so that we can maintain robust deployment across the city equally. Secondly, there are 6 officers, I believe, coming from schools to help us. There are the Transit Authority Police are helping us at bus stops and subways, and the traffic control officers have 50 that are going to be helping with traffic control in the downtown area. So there's a very collaborating, coordinated effort, multi-agency in the downtown area.
Are those 200 on an overtime deployment?
I don't think they're on overtime. They've been redeployed. Some may be on overtime, but not all.
So building on the mayor's speech at the War Memorial, Let's Go Build the City, is there a Let's Go Build the City app that has this information that everybody in this room could promote on their websites, that the city could promote on each of its sites, so that it's getting the benefit of this conference and then people would know how to navigate? Because we got a lot of visitors coming in who won't see this, and they don't know about that, and they come from some places that allow fireworks, and they don't know about, and also couldn't that app that she just asked about, couldn't that be on smartphones so we could walk around? If it hears something, we get the benefit of the shot spotter on our own cell phones.
Well, I don't know how to answer the last part about the benefit of ShotSpotter, because that's a law enforcement exclusive
It is?
technology that I believe, but I don't know how to translate that from the way we use it to the way it goes to private citizens yet.
Quick follow-up to that. You have a crime spotting app, and I've forgotten the name of it. It's called like Citizen or something, but it shows outbreaks of violence. Forgive me for not remembering the name. I do know that, and somebody in the room might know the name, but that is an app. We are encouraged to use that to see where there are problems. It seems like it'd be nice to know about the problems and the safe places together, so that we could all promote, you don't want to be here, you want to be here, and if you want to see something and say something, you can also move.
Some citizen.
You know what I'm talking about, the app that shows?
I'm familiar with it. I don't know that I have the answer at the very moment on how to deploy that for tomorrow if it's not already
Well,
deployed.
we could encourage people to download
Yes.
that app. And
Yes.
if somebody remembers the name of it?
I think it's called Citizen 3 or something like that.
It's
Citizen.
just Citizen?
But it's not a public, it's not a city.
No.
It's not a city app. It's a private.
And some of the information have not been accurate.
Sure, understood. I've watched weather forecasts.
Okay.
Can you ask a non-holiday related question?
Are y'all finished with the holiday questions? Now, any general questions?
Can you talk a little bit about the police department policy regarding ICE that was introduced last night from the commissioner and the mayor?
Well, I'll take the first one. I said that we were not going to engage with ICE in any deportation or apprehension of any immigrants in the city of Baltimore. We're going to remain a welcoming city, and we're going to make sure that our immigrant community know that anytime they are detained by ICE, that there are legal, avenues for them to take, because we feel that, the policy that the president is pushing is a policy against children. Because once you remove a parent and the kids are still here, they end up in foster care or end up in camps. And that's not the place for children to be. On the other end, the commissioner can speak to how his office is going to respond to any requests from ICE with our city police department, because we're not going to cooperate.
And so, great question. And at yesterday's public forum, the mayor and I both made that commitment. Our policy it emphatically says that we are not cooperating with ICE. I have not been contacted by ICE. I do not have any information that anyone in my department has been contacted. If and when that ever happens, we will advise our officers to follow our policy, which has now been approved by the Department of Justice, which complies with the federal law. But we do not ask about immigration status, and immigration is it's for federal enforcement, and those authorities should do that. That is not for local law enforcement. Our policy is built on that, and we stand and make that commitment to our community.
Can you talk a little bit about when and when not you will be communicating with ICE, like the civil versus criminal side?
Well, we are a police department. We enforce criminal law. We do not enforce civil law. And civil and administrative policies by ICE, that's for them to enforce. We do not enforce their civil warrants or their administrative warrants. We only take action when crimes of criminal nature are brought to our attention. And so we stand on that, like all the other major American cities who join us. And I am a member of the National Law Enforcement Immigration Task Force, along with other progressive police chiefs, who advocate for strong policies for police departments that are right for those police departments in cities, that protect the people who live in our cities, and are many times against the national policy because those policies hurt our cities and prohibit us from keeping people safe, because it pushes people away from telling us about crimes that we need to know about.
So is there any circumstance that you may arrest an individual for a criminal violation that you would have to contact Immigration and Customs Enforcement?
We only arrest people for criminal violations, and we do not ask about immigration status. And we can't think of any situations unless it is just brought to our attention that a person has violated some federal immigration law in a criminal nature in some way where we did not ask about it.
It is true, though, that once they get to central booking, their immigration status is going to be discovered, am I correct?
But that is not under the control of the Baltimore Police Department. We do not control the jail. That is a state-run agency and a state-run facility, and that is totally separate and apart from the Baltimore Police Department's function.
And you have nothing to do with that policy?
We have nothing to do with that policy. All of our operational policies are leading up to arrest and transport, but once we transport, we do not control that state agency building and or its policies concerning what happens inside of it.
Who did you work with to draft this policy introduced last night?
This policy, the Department of Justice, Civil Rights, many members of the Hispanic community here. It is a model policy taken from the consent decree in New Orleans, which was almost identical and approved by the Department of Justice, Civil Rights then. And so it's almost a mirror policy, and we knew that one was already vetted and approved by a monitoring team, the Department of Justice, and a federal judge. And so we took that model and brought it here, made some minor adjustments to it, but because we knew because it complied with the law and gave the department a strong stance on what not to do, what to do, and give officers clear guidance, we used it as a model. And then it was then again approved by the Department of Justice, Civil Rights.
I think there's a lot of fear right now in the immigrant community. I mean, how are you and the mayor ensuring them that they're safe?
We went and gave them our personal commitments on yesterday at a public forum. It went very well. They asked very good questions for about an hour, and we made the commitment to them that we are going to make our officers follow this policy. And when it's brought to our attention that they're not, then there are consequences to be held. All right?
We got time for one more.
If Julian Castro, and he's advocating that we decriminalize the border situation, isn't that a really smart, strategic way of it becoming criminal to begin with? And then doesn't it work well with the policy that you announced yesterday?
Oh,
That's for anybody.
I am of the executive branch of government, and I'll leave that to our legislative branch of government who makes laws, and then for the judiciary who interprets laws. But I'll stay away from what we think is a good national policy. I'm only here to enforce criminal law here in the city of Baltimore.
Jack, can I ask one question?
So this is the last question.
Have you
You got
heard, or met with the receiver for Harbor Place? There's a report.
No, I
due
have not. I
in-
haven't heard from anybody from Harbor
They
Place.
haven't contacted you?
No, they have
at all?
not. They probably contact BDC, but they have not contacted me.
And what is, has BDC mentioned that to you?
BDC had mentioned that, it was in receivership, and that's as far as we know.
And so, what does that say? What's the bigger message here, that there's been no contact and it's been a month since these?
Well, Harbor Place is still functioning, so that's a private entity that owns those buildings that sit on city land. So I'm quite sure BDC is engaging them in conversation. So that's all I'll say about that.
Thank you.